Hi! Hello, everybody on the internet. Welcome to my podcast. I look real tired. I was literally just crying. Today is one of my girlfriend's birthdays. It's Michaela's 27th birthday! Wow, I guess I've known her longer than 5 years, so I just posted a post for her on her wall. Backstory, she and I met while we were working at Old Chicago. She was bartender. No. Was she bartender now? No, she was still a server. So I met her. So Michaela's 27th birthday is today. I met her 2015 at the earliest. So it has been about 4 or 5 years. She and I were roommates together for about a year. And then she moved out and I moved out. And I actually met Matthew while I was living with her. Yeah, she was my roommate through my mental breakdown, and her dad died while I lived with her. He had cancer. And so, yeah, it's her birthday. I just did a post about it. Oh, hi, Nemesis. Yeah, happy Tuesday. I have nothing really real planned for today's podcast. I was thinking about not even, doing it because it's already 9:13. I have a daily thing in which I am the debate manager for Adam versus the Man. And that starts at 11 Central Standard Time, but he's on the road right now, so he'll be doing it. This is a week. The last week we're doing it. Next week's an off week, and then the week after we're going to be doing it again. What are you doing?
Oh,
are you selling your RC remote receiver thingy?
Yeah.
For planes?
Yeah.
Only planes?
It's for planes. You can use it for. It's only for RC airplanes.
Oh. So if anybody needs an RC airplane remote controller, we have one and we're selling it. Matthew's father, and if you hear anybody eating, it's because we moved the dog food down here. Matthew's father was really into RC airplanes and building model airplanes. I don't know how many he had exactly when he passed away, but we auctioned them off for the Kearney RC Plane Club, and there were a lot of fucking planes. So we got, hey, puppies, I'm trying to record here. Trying to hydrate. What kind of nonsense is this? Yeah, so we definitely have an RC airplane remote control for sale. We're going to probably keep the plane because he got to pick it, and it was one of the planes that his dad built. You can always buy a new remote control for him. You can't always replace the plane, though. I have one YouTube watcher. That's cool. Yeah, so today's Michaela's birthday. We're selling RC plane. It's Tuesday, November 17th, 9:15 a.m. Still don't know who the president is going to be, even though they said, Biden won and Trump's trying to, sue the fuck out of people so that he keeps his presidency, and his lawyers are quitting, and Biden's campaign director, where was that? Let me go check. We covered it. So yesterday during Adam's show, I was doing comments and co-hosting, I guess, because I'm Mercedes Freedom on, oh hi, oh it is you, hi Matt. So I'm Mercedes Freedom for Adam versus the Man now. I officially was called that yesterday, so I'm now, anyway, not getting into that because I don't know what it means. So yeah, so I did comments yesterday, and while I was doing comments, somebody had commented that somebody got arrested, and I'm gonna go find who it was because it was what? Okay, so Biden's campaign, it's after this, campaign person, where is it? What was his name? God damn it, now I gotta go up. Oh, did it get deleted? Anyway, so Trump's person yesterday, or the other day, that, oh God, sorry. I'm looking for the answer now. It's Biden's campaign director arrested for electoral fraud. It's Dallas Jones is his name. I just found it as you said that, Matt. So yeah, it's Dallas Jones was arrested for election fraud in Texas on behalf of the Biden campaign. So it's we're at that point where like it's like that Spider-Man meme where Spider-Man's standing in one corner and Spider-Man's standing in the other corner and the other person's standing in the other corner and they all got each other because it's all fucking corrupt. Everybody's corrupt. Everybody. I'm in a different kind of mood about this. Yeah, so what the fuck? Tuesday. It's just, it's okay. But this is a Biden transition update. We'll just get into that right now. So there was an article that the Defense Secretary, the National Security Advisor, that's who it is promising a smooth transition. Is promising, says, full stop, nothing to see here. We're going to make this as easy and painless as possible. So I really hope they have some lube geared up while they're fucking us, because this is going to be rough, I think. Because Senator Rubio joins a small group of Republican senators calling Biden president-elect. So even within the GOP right now, we have that clear dissenting line of, you got the Trumpophiles that are hardcore Trump going down in that cult train. They drank the Kool-Aid. It's too late. They're incriminated with them. Like, they got their hands caught in the cookie jar. They're fucked. And then you have the other ones, like Ben Sasse of Nebraska. So Ben Sasse of Nebraska. Ooh, I love... Okay, so as another internet warlord on the internet, CJ Abernathy, who's my friend, I follow public officials on Facebook. I've had Elizabeth Warren's people, or her, I don't know who, I know how politicians run their Facebook pages now, so sometimes when a politician responds in the comment, it is them, but 89% of the time, especially during an election year, it's a team. It's not them. It's somebody that knows how they should respond or are going to respond. So, like, I definitely am in Congressman Bacon's comment section, Ben Sasse's comment section, the governor, our governor, Pricketts, yes, Pete Ricketts, Pricketts, Penis Head Pete. Fuck him. Sorry, not sorry, he's out in 2 years. Fuck him. And now I'm off track because I hate her governor so much. Between South Dakota's Governor Kristi Noem and Nebraska's Governor Pete Ricketts, I'd like to fully say that if you think Republicans are libertarians, then you're wrong. Republicans share a lot of libertarian values, but overall, libertarians are not Republicans. We have little r Republicans in our party that are trying to make the party into what they want it, which is honestly what I came into the party thinking. I was unincorporated. The only reason why I've ever had a political party assigned to my name is because Nebraska has closed primaries. So if you want to have any say in the people being elected to our government in your area, you have to be a member of that party. So I've been a Democrat and Independent, unaffiliated, and a Republican. And now I'm a libertarian. Because before I was a libertarian, I was a Republican. The Democratic Party does not represent my values. Because I want less government, I want less government aid, I want less safety nets, not because I think people should suffer, but because those safety nets are causing more problems than what they're fixing. Taxation is in fact theft, especially when you don't vote on it. Like, I'm not even against taxes. I literally am not against the social welfare system. I am against the social welfare system I didn't vote for. I'm against that first paycheck I ever got when I was 15, and it had taxes taken out of it. I didn't fucking vote for no taxes. I'm in school learning about how the tax system is supposed to work, and then coming out into the real world realizing, that's not how it fucking is. That's not how corporations do it. That's not how taxes work. Taxes aren't paid. When tax increases are placed on businesses, the business doesn't pay that tax. They pass it on to the consumer. They add that inflated tax rate into their cost. So it's being passed on to the consumer, which is why you see the gap that's why you see the disparity in income and the gap in which we see between middle class and lower class, because the consumer class is being drained of all of its money through taxes, corporate taxes. And that's why the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer, because we're not being paid to reflect that. So if you have the government increasing taxes and then the business increases prices to cope for the taxes, we don't get a raise. We're still getting paid the same amount that we were, but everything costs more now. Like, why are employees not able to afford the very product that they are making? I used to make a product I couldn't afford. It was called jails. But we also did projects like the East Stadium expansion from Memorial Stadium, and all of the rails and balconies on the Hyatt Hotel downtown Lincoln. I couldn't stay in that hotel until this year. How come I got to build the hotel and I can't afford to stay in it? Right, Nemesis? I know. Come here. You want to say hi? What? You just gonna look at me? Oh, that was a bad burp. Come here. Come say hi. Come say hi. See, like, okay, here's the problem with taxes. Nemesis is a dog. Nemesis doesn't pay taxes, okay? She doesn't know what taxes are. She lives in a perfect puppy world where government doesn't exist. The only government is mom, okay? If I have to pay more taxes, and then my business, if my company has to pay more taxes, and I pass it on to the consumer, and I'm the consumer, that means Nemesis suffers. Why are 12% of in Nebraska, 12% of our children are in poverty? We have kids that are under the age of 18 that are already in poverty and will live in poverty. They can't escape that poverty hole, not with how deep it is. So Ben Sass and Don Bacon, and Pete Ricketts, whose family owns the Cubs. Weird how they won the World Series and now the world's ending, isn't it? We'll get into those conspiracy theories later, because Rubio joins a club of only 4 other Republicans who have acknowledged that Biden's won. Mitt Romney of Utah, Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, Susan Collins of Maine, and Ben Sass of Nebraska. 4 Republicans. And honestly, if you look at that from a libertarian standpoint, Maine's super libertarian, blue, but supertarian. Alaska is probably, I'm going to go out and say, the most libertarian state in the country right now, mostly because I follow Alaska's libertarian Facebook page and they've been, we'll get into the National Libertarian Party later, because I found the Nebraska Libertarian Party through the Louisiana Libertarian Party. I didn't even know Nebraska had a Libertarian Party. It's about 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that I decided to actually get involved. Because the Republican Party left me. The Democratic Party left me. Like, when our 2 major parties don't represent 89% of America's values, because that's how many people aren't voting, because people don't understand that it doesn't matter if you're an anarchist and don't vote, because the people that control your life do, and they don't want you to vote. Because if you start taking an interest in your life, then they don't get their way. Which is obviously what's been happening, because we have so much propaganda. So much propaganda. Orwell was right. 1984, telescreens, thought police, doublespeak, propaganda of ministry of propaganda. We are in a dystopian everything. It's just dystopian. So we're seeing a division in the Republican Party over the president. Those Republican leaders, like Ben Sass, is a big Republican leader in Nebraska. Like, he always has, like, when somebody needs credit due, like, he does it, but he is also I hate to say it, he's a Nebraskan, because if something doesn't sit right with him, he fucking speaks out about it, which is why he keeps getting elected. And it's frustrating, because we don't have term limits on that office. Ah! Who is messaging me? Yeah. Oh my god. I don't know who's watching, but I really want to put these pictures up on screen because Jesus Christ, Mother Mary, Joseph. Why are you... One, there's a Maxim magazine in this picture. And that's the least boring part about the whole picture. Okay. Okay. I am totally... Don't even remember what rants I was on now because I got sidetracked by that photo. Oh. Here's a headline I just found. Trump administration rushes to sell oil rights in Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. My little hippie heart just got mad. Starting Tuesday. Oh, that means you need to start investing in gas, natural oil, and oil today. Because, starting Tuesday, oil and gas companies can pick what parts of Alaska's Arctic National Wildlife Refuge they're interested in drilling. And the latest push by the Trump administration to auction off development rights in the pristine landscape before Trump-elect Joe Biden takes office. The official call for nominations launched is a 30-day comment period. It will also allow the Bureau of Land Management to move forward with a lease sale, which must announce 30 days in advance. The exact timing is not clear, but it raises the possibility that a lease sale might happen just days before Biden's inauguration. I'm not reading the rest. I can't. This is just going to cause me to rant about the XL pipeline that they have been... What are laws but constraints that people put on other people so that they don't do evil things, but you can't legislate morality. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and destroy our planet for monetary gain, because that's what America would do, right? Exploit natural resources. Oh, I did see CJ. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, the picture was of CJ. I'm not putting it up, but it's funny. Yeah, just... I'm angry about how humans treat this world. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Because if I don't, I'm not having an existential crisis about nope, it's not happening. What's happening is the White House orders thousands of U.S. troops withdrawn from Afghanistan and Iraq. Ooh. Except that we just heard that they were lying about how many people were even there. And you know what? Okay, so the White House will bring home 2,500 troops from Afghanistan and Iraq by the end of the year against the guidance of top military officials. A drawdown order that reduces the American presence by about a third, from 45 to 25 in Afghanistan and 3 to 25 in Iraq, according to U.S. officials. I can't trust that number because I already know that they've been lying about it, and this is a cycle that they do. Plus, even numbers, I hate how the government, like, if they put a 1 on the end, I'd probably, like, 2,502. 2,501.5, because, Marines aren't a full one. But NPR's Tom Bowman reported the move is opposed by senior military leaders, given Afghanistan's fragile state, which actually is a real concern because America has created a power vacuum in the Middle East because, you know, we want that oil, yo. Oh. That's why they're opening up Arctic drilling, because we're being forced out of the Middle East. Oh. I'm definitely going to get suicided now. Peace talks between Afghanistan government, the Afghan government, and the Taliban. I remember a time when the Taliban were bad. Have seemingly stalled, and violent attacks have risen 50% in recent months. Okay, there you go. Taliban is bad still. Army General Mark Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and Marine General Frank McKenzie, head of the U.S. Central Command, have advised the top reduction in to be pushed to the spring. The cutbacks can only be so surprising. National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien had called the play 1 month ago when he said the number of troops in Afghanistan would drop by 2,500. Okay. So, I'm going to share that in the Producers Club because that's a good one too. Let's talk about puppies. Nemesis, what are you chewing on? Spit that out. I just want world peace for my puppies and my babies, and so that I don't have to run for office again. Oh, my hair's fucked up. I am running in 2022. Here's the official announcement. I'm running in the next election. I don't know what for yet. I've not gone that far. Should probably pick soon, though. But if I keep the momentum going, I don't even know. If you think I should run for an office, and you know which one I should run for, message me. Fake news. Who's telling me fake news? I already have people messaging me fake news. Oh. Definitely was a virus. I'm going to go delete it now. Probably was hacked. That's fun. I don't know if you could hear that, but it definitely was not good. So it's not fake news. Okay. I'm not arguing with hippies. I have hippies arguing with me on Facebook now. And if you've never argued with a hippie, Sorry, I got distracted. My ADD, my meds haven't kicked in yet. That's why this show is so fun. Or not. So we are shipping to the U.S. inside China's online synthetic drug networks. Oh! He is a slight bespeckled man. It's a 6-minute read. I'm not reading it. I'm sharing it. So China's selling fentanyl in America, which we already knew, and it's fine. It's fucking fine. It's fine. It's fucking fine. So if you don't know about Nebraska and the I-80 corridor, I'm just gonna go ahead and we're gonna have a Nebraska education talk right now because there are some issues in Nebraska that have been nagging at me for a while, like sex trafficking. Where's the closest? Okay, so this one is August 18th, 2020. It says, what does human trafficking look like in Nebraska? So since 2015, the prosecutors in Nebraska have brought 50 cases of human trafficking to court, and 30 of them involved children. If you don't know what the Franklin scandal is, I highly suggest you go Google that shit right now. And it's really, really triggering, so be warned, it's not good. And we're still having fallout from it today. While there are larger operations that bring victims through Nebraska during larger events like the College World Series, it's not just cities like Omaha that see trafficking. Nebraska Attorney General Doug Peterson, whose office oversees Human Trafficking Task Force, says sometimes a victim is trafficked in several small towns throughout the more rural part of the state. Go Google Furnace County, Nebraska, and see what's going on there right now. That would be an example where the federal authorities may not want to expand their resources in a town in Nebraska in less than 1,000 people, but we certainly spend our resources. And now we have laws comparable to the federal laws where we can give sufficient penalties against human traffickers. Just in Douglas and Sarpy counties, which is Omaha area, 80 to 100 children go missing a month, according to advocates at Project Harmony. While many are recovered, the center's executive director says children being trafficked is fairly common. It's a fair number, probably 5 a month now, that we're seeing where children are actually being sold. There was an exchange of money or items in exchange for sex with young children. This is a hard topic to talk about, but in Nebraska, we have human trafficking, so we can't find the kids. We can't stop the human trafficking, but we're really good at finding pot on the interstate. Like, really, really good at finding drugs on the interstate. Can't find full-ass humans. Can't find that kid that literally goes missing. But we can find that 20 pounds of weed in an airtight, smell-proof bag under 10 pounds of ice in your trunk. Let's get some good news, because now I'm all ragey against Nebraska's. Okay, but one last thing on the sex child thing. So, it's being ignored. It's being covered up. Our government doesn't want to talk about it. Our state patrol in the last gubernatorial race did not back our governor. Our governor, who lives in Omaha, and tried to use the National Guard for martial law against the protesters in Omaha. If you look at what happened in Omaha, you see that they used kettling tactics. Oh my god. Nebraska is a fucking shithole right now. Not Kearney. Kearney is only half a shithole right now. Because we have, in our own town, we have these problems with the Republicans and Democrats. Because, one, our town is very independent. We like to keep the state out. We don't like the feds. We do everything locally. We have small businesses. We shop here. We live here. We keep our money here. We're a tourist town. Our economy here in our town is not so. The only reason why our town is as big as it is because we are a tourist town and we have tourist attractions. And I like to call us like the oasis in the prairie, because all of the smaller rural towns within an hour of here come to Kearney or Grand Island, the Tri-Cities, to get what they need. So, even in our town, we have these issues. They started creeping in a few years ago. We were hearing stories of women at Target being followed when they're alone with their kids. And people, back in the 90s, early 2000s, we had Ann Sluty get kidnapped right from her freaking mall parking lot. This has been going on for decades. And nobody's fucking talking about it. I'm 30. I'm 30. My childhood was this bullshit. My childhood was the court system doing this bullshit and helping abusers get away with it. If y'all hear this, start helping me lobby in Nebraska against these fucking laws. We literally voted to take slavery out of our Constitution this year, and it barely passed. It barely passed. Almost half of the people that voted against slavery had the equal amount voting for it, either because they didn't understand the language on the ballot, or they really just want to keep indentured servitude. And I know people are okay with indentured servitude, because at least you're working your debt. I was watching Robin Hood this morning with my kid. That's probably why I'm so fired up right now about taxes and our government. Because Robin Hood, and we were watching the 1973 cartoon Robin Hood. It just, this election year was bullshit from planet bullshit. It felt like my stepbrother was just putting his nuts all over my drum sets all fucking year. Like, it just, my little baby brain is just so exasperated. My poor little lady brain just needs to be back in the kitchen, barefoot and pregnant, because all of this stuff going on just makes me want to be a 1950s housewife again. Just in denial with lobotomies. Where's my lobotomizer? Where is it? Because at this point, that's all I want, is a fucking lobotomy. And with that, I'm going to just go ahead and end this now. It's 9:42. I've been on for 30 minutes. I've ranted. I actually did some news. Huh, weird. Maybe in the future I'll have an intro and outro. Maybe I'll have an actual setup thing. I didn't put the link up today because I needed to just kind of rant. Cora had a fever, spiked a fever yesterday, mid-afternoon. I gave her Tylenol last night. Got rid of it. Popped up again last night. Didn't give her any more Tylenol just because it wasn't high. Didn't sleep well. She still doesn't feel good. I don't know if she's teething. I don't know if we got the COVID. Excuse me. I don't know if we got the COVID. I don't know if we just picked up the flu because that's going around. I do know that I'm watching several of my friends, including my stepmom, all be sick with COVID right now as we speak. And they all have pneumonia. And this is America. This is the world we live in. This is 2020. This is what happens when you don't address problems as they happen and you just push them down and put Band-Aids on it. And, oh, we don't need to worry about this now. We'll fix it in the future. And now it's the future. 12% of Nebraskans' children are in poverty. We have a national debt where my daughter already owes more than $500,000 to the government because they borrowed so much money from China. And I'm just sitting here in the middle of Nebraska talking to the internet, trying not to get yanked or yeeted or yanked or yeeted. No, yeeted or yoinked by anybody who wants to violate the NAP. Because if you're violating the NAP, that means you're Nazi. I just said it. I want Nazi scalps. If you don't think that I should be a person, if you don't think that I should have rights, if you don't think that I should marry whoever I want, if you don't think that I have any sort of anything regarding the Constitution, if you want to limit my free speech, where I work, how I work, and I'm not creating a victim, you're in violation of the NAP. You're in violation of my constitutional rights. And I may stay peaceful because I don't want to fight. I've been fighting my whole goddamn life. I'm tired. But there are, y'all need to cut the shit out and be nice and respect each other and help each other out and not be using propaganda that our abusers want us to use to gaslight each other. Because the gaslighting is what's causing people to go nuts and be violent, because that's what happens when victims feel like they don't have any control. And right now we're all coming down with that Stockholm Syndrome. See, I can't even remember it. We're all coming down with Stockholm Syndrome because we've been locked up all year, because we have a virus that the government is using to their advantage. Like, my town had an emergency mask mandate meeting yesterday. I know several other cities across the country that did that. Which means technically libertarians are winning because local city governments are taking over. The system's finally collapsing to the point where our local city governments are the ones making the decisions for themselves finally, because the local government is the only government that impacts your daily lives the most. Like the feds, the national, don't really have any bearing on your life except for trickle-down effect, and we know that Reagan economics don't fucking work. But your local county government, your local city government, your state government, unless you have a local government like mine that keeps the state out. But that's just what's happening all over the country now. I see local governments taking charge. And that's a beautiful thing to see in 2020 when authoritarianism is at its all-time high and they're literally using a virus to create genocide and my people are still in camps. Flint, Michigan still doesn't have water and George Floyd still doesn't have justice. 2020's been lit, y'all. I just want everybody to be happy and have money. I just want the good life for all y'all. Okay, bye!